Hi there. Come back again with another Blu-ray DVD update video. In this video here, I got a bunch of stuff to show you. Good stack of DVDs, pretty decent stack of Blu-rays. Not a huge haul, but definitely a good one. A lot of this stuff I got pretty cheap, so let's just jump right into it. Let's just carve through the DVDs real quick. This first one here, I'm actually pretty excited to see. Never heard of it before, but like every bit of like the recipe for the film, I always like to say that a film's like a recipe. All the different ingredients, the cast, the people behind it. If one fucking ingredient can taint the whole shit, you know what I'm saying? So, anyways, this movie here just looks like it's got all the ingredients you want. So you got The Paper here, starring, good lord, Michael Keaton, Glenn Close, Marissa Tomei, Randy Quaid, and Robert Duvall. So that's pretty good. And then it's directed by Ron Howard. So this movie here is apparently a behind the lines look at work, marriage, and other forms of combat, and it takes place all within this uh, stop the presses comedy, but a fast paced, cutthroat, um, often hilarious world of newspaper journalism. So yeah, it sounds pretty interesting to me. I've always thought that would be kind of an interesting job, you know, like just be always caught up in all the current events and be right on top of shit. I don't know. Always thought like journalism was a cool occupation. So like I really like the season of The Wire, the fifth season where they deal with that. But anyways, I don't know anything about this movie, so I can't really talk about it, whether it's good, whether it's bad, other than it looks like it's gonna be good. It's got a great cast, so I'm really excited to check this out. And I came across it $4, so yeah, it was brand new too. So actually, I'm gonna put all the movies right here. So that's The Paper. This one as well I picked up for $4. Um, I think the only way you can get this movie is on Criterion Blu-ray, and I'm not paying that for this until I've seen it. And I'm sure it's going to be amazing because it's Stanley Kubrick, and that is Paths of Glory here. This is a normal MGM DVD release. It does have everything, which is very nice, mint condition as well. See, $4. So yeah, this is a war. I don't really know much about this movie. I think it's the first war, and it has to do with the trenches and stuff like that. But the only thing I know about this movie is what I've seen in the Stanley Kubrick documentary Life in Pictures. Um, so I just know that this is like a really, you know, heralded movie. Is really well done. It's got Douglas. From what I've seen scene wise, it looked really well made, as you would expect from Stanley Kubrick. So yeah, $4. I haven't seen this yet. I definitely want to get around to it. It's not really even that long. It's only an hour and a half. So I'm definitely gonna jump into this movie. And if I like it enough, which I'm sure I'll like it, Stanley Kubrick, but will I like it enough to spend the $45 sometimes that it costs for Criterion's? And living in Canada, I know what you might be saying. Oh, it's Criterion half price sale in Barnes and Noble. Well, in Canada it is ridiculous. I don't know of anywhere near me that has a Barnes and Noble. I tried online, and yeah, I don't know about Criterion sales in Canada. So usually they're about $40 each for Criterions, and sometimes they go on sale. Sometimes you can get them cheaper from seller marketplace sort of deal, but most of the time Criterions in Canada are expensive. So yeah, I got 5 more DVDs here. Let me just jump through. We go from Stanley Kubrick to The Love Guru, which should be, honestly, he should have taken the time and made Austin Powers 4 at this time. I don't understand the thought process behind The Love Guru in opposed to that, because Austin Powers, I don't know, he recycled a lot of the jokes, but it never really got old to me in Austin Powers. I don't know if I'm alone in that opinion. But this movie here, as much as I would have loved an Austin Powers 4, and as bad as this movie is, I still find funny parts in it. In particular, Justin Timberlake's pretty funny in this movie. But it's just a silly movie about a hockey team that needs a love guru to sort out some shit. It's it's a stupid plot. Pretty much a lot of it is dumb, but there is some funny things throughout it. And I found this for $1, and I don't know how much this would cost on Blu-ray. I doubt it would. If I could get it for $1 on Blu-ray, I'll upgrade. But I'm fine with the DVD for now. So that's Love Guru. Let's just put that underneath. I don't want that touching Paths of Glory, okay? So, yeah, let's just jump into Rocky Marciano. This is a really cool boxing sort of film that you've seen films like this from other people as well, other boxers and stuff like this. But this one's really well made. Jon Favreau plays Rocky Marciano, and his performance is really, really good. You got Judd Hirsch, you got Tony LoBianco, and George C. Scott is his father is really good in this movie. So it is really well made, great like sort of boxing story. So, and Favreau's performance in this is very impressive. I had never seen him do any sort of acting on this level. So if you're a fan of his and you think maybe he's just that schmaltzy actor that you see, and once in a while he'll do a poignant, dramatic comedy, try this on. He's really good in this movie. It's a good watch. So that's Rocky Marciano. Great boxer as well. If you look up some of his fights on YouTube, he was a beast of a boxer. So I like boxing quite a bit. I think that's a really cool sport to like. I like Ali and all that stuff. Anyways, moving on. So I found this, so I don't know. I've been looking for a copy of The Good Son for quite a while, and then it came out on a Kino release, and it was just very expensive, and I hadn't seen it in a long time. I had it on VHS until I picked this up, so I still haven't got around to watching it yet, but I remember this being really good, and Macaulay Culkin's a sinister little bastard in this movie. This movie kind of reminds me of a book by Dean Koontz called something about midnight or something, where these two kids, basically the one kid's all fucked up like Macaulay Culkin, and he's just kind of like constantly trying to drag the good kid with him to these fucked up situations. The book reminds me of this movie quite a bit. I don't know if there's any connection at all. It doesn't say, but yeah, this is a great movie. This has got the widescreen and full screen, so I was happy that it wasn't some full screen copy. Better either way, it would have been better than VHS. But yeah, The Good Son. Need to get around to checking that out. I don't know if I'd ever really upgrade that to Blu-ray. It would have to blow me away when I do rewatch it. Chucky. Child's Play 3, found this for $1. Until the Child's Play 2 and 3 get released, I'm just going to pick them up on DVD. This one's $1. I'm trying not to pay much more than that for Child's Play 2. Because, like I said, they're just kind of placeholders until hopefully Scream Factory gets the rights. That would be dope. Because, like, to me, Child's Play 1 is the best. It's amazing. Child's Play 2 is pretty fun. Child's Play 3, this one's great as well. I know it's pretty bad at points, but this is the one where they go to the, like, military camp, right? Yeah, this one's pretty fun from what I remember. It's been a while since I watched these movies, all three of them. Because, like I said, I haven't had 2 and 3 for a long time. And I skip Seed and Bride because those are absolute garbage. And I go right to Curse and Chuck and Cult because I actually like both those movies. So, yeah, I wanted 3, found it for $1. Now I just need to get 2, and I don't want to pay a lot. So, the last DVD is Mercy. This is a movie that I didn't know anything about. I'm a huge Stephen King fan. It was ridiculous I didn't know anything about it. Dr. Movie 91, awesome YouTuber, BlueTuber, if you don't follow him. He also has a great Facebook page. Subscribe to everything that I just said if you like movies and BlueTube stuff. But he's a great YouTuber, and he pointed this out, and I was like, what the fuck? This is a Stephen King movie. How did I not even hear about this? And it's got Carl from Walking Dead in it. And yeah, it's based on Stephen King's short story Grandma. And I'm pretty sure that's from Skeleton Crew. Yes, and yeah, it is. And yeah, so this is cool, and it's about this kid who kind of like starts dealing with his crazy grandma, and I don't. You know what? I'm not going to say much about it more than that because it's kind of like a witch. I don't want to say too much because it's kind of like a story that if you go in fresh, it reveals really well, and it's paced really well, and it's an excellent film. I was very surprised by this. It kind of looked a little low budget, but yeah. Doctor Movie 91. Thank you for showing me this. I loved it. I thought it was great. Goes good right with all the Stephen King. So yeah, moving along. Now we're getting into Blu-rays. Here are a bunch of Blu-rays that I've picked up that I've never seen and I'm looking forward to. Double feature. I don't give two shits or a fuck about Practical Magic. It just doesn't look that interesting to me. Maybe I'll check it out one day just because simply I have it. Maybe for Halloween sometime down. Like, I like Sandra Bullock. She's really good in movies. Nicole Kidman's good, but she gets on my nerves for some reason in movies. I don't know why. But the Witches of Eastwick. This is a really cool movie from what I've heard. I have not seen it. I mean, it's got Jack Nicholson in it, so it's going to be good for that alone. Michelle Pfeiffer, Susan Sarandon, Cher, all beautiful actresses. I like pretty much all the. I don't really know much about Cher, but they're all pretty good movies. Yeah, I don't know much about this movie other than people seem to really like it. Found this double feature brand new at Walmart for $10, so I'm going to be getting around to watching this. I meant to watch it for Halloween, but I fucked up. I just kind of caught myself slipping. So, Practical Magic, don't have anything against the movie, just doesn't have any sort of interest to me from what I read about it, and the actresses, and no director attached that I was really all that interested. So, maybe down the line I'll watch that, but this is what I bought this for, Witches of Eastwick. I'm hoping that Jack Nicholson is a warlock, because I have a vague, I think I may have seen some of this movie. I always get it mistaken with that Robert Zemeckis movie with Glenn Close and her head spins it back. I don't know why I mistake that, but I've never seen him, so I'm looking forward to this. This is another one I haven't seen, Behind Enemy Lines. I've seen parts of this. Drunken night at a friend's house. We were drinking. I was in and out of the house. This was on VHS, I'm pretty sure. He had a huge VHS collection, him and his dad. And I'm pretty sure they were watching this on VHS. I like some of it. I'm a pretty big fan of Owen Wilson, but what I really like is Gene Hackman. Every goddamn movie. I'm a big fan of his. I dare you to find a bad performance of his. The movie might not be great. Every movie that he's been in. But he is good in every movie that he has been in that I can think of. So that's my challenge to people. I want to find a bad performance from him. I dare you. I double dog dare you. Anyways, Behind Enemy Lines. I don't know anything about this other than it's probably a U.S. Navy pilot shot down sort of movie in Bosnia. I guess that's what genre I'll put it in when I put it on my wall. So that's Behind Enemy Lines. Sideways, I picked this up because I've heard great things. I know this is by the guy who did About Schmidt, and I guess it said right there, Election. And I'm pretty sure this guy just started a new movie on Netflix with like Adam Sandler. I'm not sure. I think that's right, but I heard a lot of people talk about this movie. Cinema Sickness talked about this movie because he's a big fan of Paul Giamatti, as am I. I think he's one of the best actors ever. To be honest, there again, find a bad performance. Even Lady in the Water, he is great in. Just him. That movie is shit, absolute shit. M. Night Shyamalan shit, but he is good in it for what he has to do. And I don't know anything about this movie. I'm hoping it's good. I don't really even know. I don't even know what it's about. I found it and I was like, oh, $2 for this. So, okay, check it out. Sideways. And also, another great I'm just shouting out YouTubers today. How about that? PMac Movies. He's a great YouTuber. Blue Tuber. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure he also recommended that. So, moving along. Your Highness. I'm a big Howard Stern fan. He's not a Blue Tuber, but I think James Franco was on, and he said Howard went on about how funny this was. I've heard nothing but terrible things, egregious things about this movie, abhorrent things. But I'm hoping that it's not a pile of monkey shit. It looks funny to me. I like Danny McBride and everything. I'm really looking forward to getting the Vice Principal set. Hopefully they do like a double pack so I can buy it all in one foul swoop and watch it all. I watched the first season, loved it. But I'm not here to talk about that. Natalie Portman, she's great. James Franco, I don't even know. This must be like some sort of Robin Hood meets Cheech and Chong stoner movie. I don't know. So I'm hoping it's good. Howard Stern seemed to like it, and I'm a big fan of uh, Howard Stern, but I don't know. He's never really nailed it to me with movie recommendations, so I don't know. So last but not least, for the movies that I have bought on Blu-ray that I have never seen, I don't know why I put a little segment there. I don't know why, but anyways, I'm gonna shut up and just talk about the movies. Fred Claus, I got it here with this cool slipcover. It's slightly dinged up, but nothing too dramatic, and it looks nice, like pretty much. So it just kind of got like a little fraying. I don't know, but from what I hear, I looked up a trailer for this movie, and so from the trailer, basically Fred Claus is the brother of Santa Claus, and he's kind of like an asshole Vince Vaughn character. But I like Vince. I'm not saying Vince Vaughn's an asshole, okay, baby. I'm just saying that once in a while, he might just be misunderstood because he's out there, baby. He's all the time. That's a terrible Vince Vaughn impression, but you know how he rambles all the time. That's why I like him when he does that fast talk shit. It's hilarious to me. He just everybody kind of throws everybody off with that. I like it, so I'm hoping he brings that to it. I'm sure he does. And so basically, he's the idiot brother of Santa Claus, and I guess he's like eternal like Santa Claus, and he shows up. And I don't know if I'm sure in the end he does the right thing and helps or whatever, but I'm sure there'll be like ups and downs. So I have high hopes for this because I'm a big Vince Vaughn fan. I like him and everything. And again, Paul Giamatti is Santa Claus. And a lot of the dwarves and stuff and elves I think they're actually like actors that they put in the character. I don't know if it's CG or it might actually be little people. I'm not actually sure. But I was looking this Christmas. I'm gonna stay away from watching every fucking Christmas movie. I've done a Merry Movie Marathon for a couple years now in a row, and this year, other than Home Alone and certain films that are Christmas staples that I do watch every year, I'm not gonna watch like every Christmas movie I own and can get a hold of. I'll definitely be watching Lethal Weapon. So, yeah. Um, anyways, so I was looking for new movies. That's kind of what I went for Halloween this year as well. I wanted to find Halloween movies that I hadn't seen a lot or I haven't seen at all. So, Fred Claus, hoping it's good. I'm sure it's gonna be decent. Let me see. Is anyone? Yeah, I'm not familiar with the director off the top of my head, but Joel Silver produced it, so that's pretty cool. All right, so right away, let's get into two brand new release movies. One being an older movie, but like a collector's edition, brand new. I actually have it before street date because I went through the website Scream Factory on shoutfactory.com. And that is Misery. Also got the awesome poster for this as well. I don't have any space right now to hang it anywhere that I can think, but I definitely want to hang this poster up. It's so awesome. Fucking best, one of my favorite Stephen King adaptations, one of my favorite of his novels. Either way, you can't go wrong if you read the book, if you watch the movie, you're not going to go wrong. This isn't in a time where like, oh, the movie kind of loses a lot. They're both amazing. So Kathy Bates in this nails it. She's cock-a-doodle crazy. James Caan is really good in this movie as well. He has to suffer quite a bit. Rob Reiner's direction is spot on. He says in the brand new special features there are only two that are listed plus the new 4K restoration for the Blu-ray scan. But there's only two special features, but they're pretty long. Like the director one with Rob Reiner goes on for quite a bit. and it's interesting. It's not like he's just blathering. Like they put it together pretty good. And Greg Nicotero is also a really good interview as well. It's not quite. I don't think it's even half as long, but it's also very interesting. And then it has tons of the original featurettes from the previous release. So this is the ultimate edition. Clearly, they usually are with these Scream Factory, Shout Factory select. So yeah, great movie. Let me just show you the alternate artwork here. I have this VHS as well. This is the VHS cover. It's very cool. If you get right, I don't know if it's gonna pop on, but like in the background here, it like says Misery, and he's like been typing. It's really cool if you look close. I always loved that artwork. Very simplistic. I like both of these artworks far better than the one that was in the previous release. I was happy to get rid of that. Just never really liked that art. And then you go inside and you got the typewriter, which is very cool. So Misery, one of my very favorite Stephen King anything. One of my favorite movies ever, really. I love this one. I can watch it any cold winter day. This will do. So that's Misery. Love that edition. It was well worth the money, the shekels that I dropped. So here we go. Wind River. I wasn't actually going to jump on this right away. I was going to hope to get it down the line, but this is a really good movie. I went and seen this in the theater again. It was just kind of like a really cold night. Went to the theater. It was perfect. No one was there. I was just kind of on a whim. I went by myself, and I sat down. I watched the movie, and it was very absorbing. Jeremy Renner's performance in this is very like emotionally resonant. Like you'll be fucking feeling like with some of the stories he tells. You're just like, oh shit, man, that's that's some shit. I don't want to spoil anything. I almost kind of did there. I caught myself before I said anything in particular. Elizabeth Olsen's very good in this as well. John, the guy who plays Punisher, can I remember his name? Bernthal, whatever. He's also in this for a little cameo performance. But basically, this movie. Oh, and also it's from what is his name? Sheridan, Tyler Sheridan. No, Taylor Sheridan. He wrote Sicario, Hell or High Water, which one of my favorite movies from last year. I absolutely love that movie. It's kind of what drawn me to go see this in the theater. I was happy that it even came to my theater. I don't usually get movies like this. It's mostly the bigger ones, which is unfortunate. But basically, this movie starts off with a discovery of a body. Without spoiling anything, I'm not getting into any real big details, but there's a body discovered. Jeremy Renner is kind of like a tracker, and he knows this landscape very well. And this FBI agent, Elizabeth Olsen, is kind of overwhelmed. She's alone to figure out what is going on, and she can't tackle this landscape, which is so fucking like brutal. It's super like cold to the point where if you run at a certain speed when it's super at this it's like well below freezing, and like within not very long at all you'll be like spitting up blood because you're like breathing frozen air. So that is crazy, and it's just really well done. The cinematography in this is amazing. I don't know if he's ever directed anything before, but I'm not sure. He's definitely, like I said, he's written other movies, but I'm pretty sure this is the first time he's done both. He wrote and directed it. So, yeah, I'm happy to get this. I'm very excited to check it out on Blu-ray. Hopefully, this one behind the scenes documentary, hopefully it's, more than like a 10-minute featurette, and then it has deleted scenes. So yeah, that's Wind River. Great sort of mystery. You kind of got to figure out what happened to this woman, this victim, and yeah, it's good. It's a good film. Very absorbing watch. And what is it? So yeah, it's under 2 hours, which is nice as well. It's not like a long movie. So here's a movie that I came across just because I heard so many people talking about it. Another shout out for Blue Tuber. Cinema 7. If you're not following this guy on YouTube, sorry. If you're not following Cinema 7 on YouTube, and he is going to be changing his name apparently soon, so go check him out immediately. I'll try to put links for these in the description. Hopefully I can remember to do that. And, because he's a great YouTuber, he makes cool videos, he's got a great, like, sort of sense of humor to him, he's really funny, so check him out, Cinema 7. So he was going on about the new Vince Vaughn movie, Cell Block 99, and I'm very excited for that. It looks great. So he was going on about that, and then he started talking about this movie, Bone Tomahawk, and he was saying how good this was, and that's what made him interested in that one. I'm pretty sure that's what he was saying, and he just kind of mentioned this one, and I had heard about it, but I didn't really know much about it, and other than Kurt Russell had an amazing mustache in it, and yeah, so this movie is immediately one of my favorite westerns of all time, one of my favorite Kurt Russell performances of all time, and just it's amazing. It's so well done. Um, it's a I'm gonna try and say a sentence here, and that'll be what it's about and what like I don't want to spoil anything. So basically, it's a group of Western characters. They're all great who go on a search to find this uh, this woman who's been taken capture by a group of troglodyte Indian, cave-dwelling Indians, and they're more than just your normal average Indian Native American sort of character that you're going to see in a Western. These guys do not mess around, and they are very different, and that's part of it. Like, that's a very aspect to it where you're like constantly like, what the fuck is going on with these guys? And yeah, I don't want to get into it too much. I wasn't very successful in summing up quickly in a sentence, but it is amazing. The performances by Richard Jenkins is amazing. He's an amazing actor. You'll see him in a lot of little roles throughout tons of little movies. He's always good. Matthew Fox from Lost, playing Jack in Lost. I haven't seen him really in any great movie performance recently. He is brilliant in this. He plays this like kind of Doc Holliday sort of character in a way, not full on, but kind of reminded me of that, like this charming but deadly motherfucker. Patrick Wilson is great in this film as well. He's like this super determined. I'm just gonna say he's the husband of the woman who's been taken capture. That's not spoiling anything. And he's got his own trials and tribulations to go through. And Kurt Russell is the sheriff who is bound by duty and honor, and he's a sheriff, so he needs to deal with what happens in his town and his people, and he leads this group of guys, and they go to find these Indians, and whether that's a good idea or not is up to debate by the end of this movie. Fantastic. Can I agree with you more, Cinema 7, if you are watching? Fantastic film. Bone Tomahawk. And like I said, I pre-ordered Brawl in Cell Block 99. Looks fantastic. If you've not seen Bone Tomahawk, must watch. It's on Netflix. Get on that shit. So, here's another one that I was very excited to own, finally, and that is Jean-Claude Van Damme and Kickboxer. To me, Bloodsport and this are the ultimate Van Damme movie, and I go back and forth. I just like Bolo Young and Bloodsport so much for a villain, but then you watch Kickboxer and you see, I don't even remember his name. It's like some fucked up shit. I don't know. I think it says Tong Po. Yeah, I can never remember his name, but he is one B. He kind of reminds me of Goro, but just normal, not 4 arms or 8 arms or whatever. But basically, this kind of reminds me like a lot of Bruce Lee elements to this, and basically it's a brother who's a badass kickboxer. Jean-Claude Van Damme follows him, and he gets murdered, or not murdered, sorry, he gets his ass handed to him in a kickboxing match by this Tong Po guy. Guy's just brutal to him, breaks his back, his whole career's over, and Jean-Claude Van Damme goes on this like vengeance kick to learn to be the ultimate Thai boxer, and then go and fight this guy. He's fucking awesome. If you like these sort of movies, this is one of the best. One of the all-time best. So, Kickboxer, watch it. So happy to get that. I got it. I was waiting. I was trying to get it for a good price, and finally, like a Amazon market seller will put it up for. I think it was about $12 with like shipping and all that. So that is a great deal. I'll pay $12 for Kickboxer all day. Um, there's a couple other Jean-Claude Van Damme movies I want to get, and there's a pack that has Lionheart in it with 5 movies, but it's retardedly out of print and expensive. So hopefully down the line I'll be able to get that. But until then, whatever. I got Kickboxer, I got Bloodsport, I got Time Cop, and then I got all the good ones on VHS, including Kickboxer. So moving on, I got a Kino movie here. A friend of mine, not a blue tuber, but a friend of mine, he knows I'm a huge James Wood fan. I like him and everything. I really wish that show Shark would have went on for quite a bit. I loved it. First season I was hooked, but then it kind of like went away. But whatever. This movie here is awesome. It's called Cop. Simply put, when a cop cares too much, how far is too far? And basically, it's about this cop who, because of like the job and everything and his own paranoia and everything, he kind of becomes obsessed with every sort of like crime, and like everything's linked and connected. And the idea for this movie is to figure out whether he is fucking crazy and he's ruining his life with his paranoia, or is something going on. And you kind of try and figure it. And it's a great like character film. Just fantastic. Never heard of it before. My buddy was watching it, and I'm like, he's just like, hey, you should watch this. You love James Wood. And I'm like, you're fucking right. And I do. So I went out and bought the movie. There's another one he told me to check out called Boost. Of course, both of them were pretty expensive, so I had to pick one. Pick this one. I'll get Boost down the line. That one looks like a kind of like a story of excess and I don't know. Well, I have to see it. It kind of looks like that, and like, whatever. Kind of like Big Lights, Small City. What's that movie with Michael J. Fox? That's gonna bug me. Bright Lights, Big City. That's the movie. Kind of that Boost movie looks like that a little bit, but this is just fantastic. I love it. This has one of the best final scenes, like that cuts to credits, I've ever seen. It's so fantastic. I'm not going to spoil anything. Go check this movie out. Hey, Cinema 7 or any of you other blue tubers out there. I know Cinema Sickness ain't watching, but maybe PMAC movies. Check this movie out if you have not. Brilliant. Cop. So, okay, so here, the last 4 I can kind of carve through pretty good. They're just movies that I've picked up. This movie I picked up like 2 updates ago on Blu-ray, but that one was a rental copy, and it didn't have this unrated cut, so I re-bought Jennifer's Body. Luckily, it was only $4.99, so that's brand new at Best Buy. So I like took a little drive to the city, and the Best Buy had it right there up front. So I still haven't watched this movie. Like I said, I kind of procrastinated with a couple Halloween movies. Like, I've only seen this the once, and I remember it being pretty good. So hopefully, when I do watch this, maybe next Halloween, or maybe just I'll probably just throw it on one time and watch it. So Jennifer's Body, and then I got Amityville Horror, the 2005 edition. This one's very awesome. I think it's well made. I'm not sure if it's as good as the original one, because, good lord, it's been a long time since I watched that. But I don't know. Ryan Reynolds is good in this. What is her name? She is in some other stuff. She's not a huge named actress, but she's decent. Melissa George, pretty sure. Directed by Andrew Douglas. So, yeah, it's basically, the Amityville horror story, and these family move into the house, and before long, the dad's completely under its spell and determined to murder his family. So, I think this is really well made. I don't know, during this time when Michael Bay produced the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake, I thought all those movies he was making were really well, like for horror remakes, in that respect, pretty well done. So, the Amityville Horror, I really like that one. I like the way it ends as well. yeah, it's just pretty well done. So here's another one, Walk the Line. I've had this on DVD forever. I had the special edition. I just would not get rid of it. I just until I got the Blu-ray, and then even then I was like, oh, there's some cool artwork, but I don't need multiple copies of this movie. I just wanted it on Blu-ray, and still haven't rewatched it. So, but I like Johnny Cash. Big fan of his music. You know, he walked the line. Uh, I like his music. So, Joaquin Phoenix does a really good job portraying him in the biopic here. So does Reese Witherspoon, who does a really good job. Her performance was also equally like convincing. If you kind of like look up footage of the people, like Johnny Cash and what is her name? I know it's probably annoying to people who are like June Carter Cash. Yeah, who are like huge fans. I know. I don't know. I don't know her name. Okay, I'm sorry. But they are really good in this movie. The both of them. I'm pretty sure they both perform the music themselves. I know Joaquin Phoenix does. And it's just a good movie. It's a good story of how he became the musician. And I think it starts from like right away when he's a boy, and an accident that kind of like forms him in a way. But yeah, this has all the special features, to be honest, from that special edition, and yeah, I'm looking forward to one day checking this out again. I like Joaquin Phoenix's performance in the third act of this movie when he starts to go downhill. He really starts to go crazy with the drugs and all his problems. You know, good movie if you haven't. And who directs this? James Mangold. That's right, good director. So that's Walk the Line. And last but not least, in case you've been waiting, this movie here is fantastic. If you've ever worked in a kitchen of any kind, um, it's not like this. This movie is not like that at all, really. I mean, it's pretty loose going, in the kitchen. It's all, it's playful, but at the same time, some of the shit they're doing in this ain't gonna fly. You're not gonna be whipping your nuts out and making puppets out of it at most places of any reputable establishment. Like you. But in a movie, it's pretty goddamn funny, and Ryan Reynolds is freaking hilarious in this movie. Justin Long's great. Those are the main characters, pretty much. Anna Faris. Who else is in this? Dane Cook. That's it. I knew there's someone else. Andy Milonakis. So this is a really funny movie, and it's just about this guy's like, I can't remember exactly. I don't think it's his first day. I don't know. Maybe it's just a random. I don't know. I think maybe it is his first day. But anyways, he's kind of being like taken around the place by Ryan Reynolds, and he's being shown the whole restaurant, how it all works, who's who, and all the fun hijinks that happen in this along the way. This is a great comedy. I have never seen the sequel, Still Waiting. It doesn't have most of the main characters, so that's probably why. I don't imagine it's great, but if you've seen that movie, or any of the movies that I've talked about that I haven't seen, if you have any opinions about any of them, especially The Paper, I'm interested to hear what people are saying about that movie. Let me know down in the comments below. I'll definitely respond to you and all that, so I'm pretty good about that. But yeah, Waiting, good movie. It'll make you laugh. I don't think you'll cry. Maybe you'll get mad if you stub your foot on the way to get popcorn. But basically, you're going to have a good time watching this movie. So, take my word on that. So, this isn't the biggest, hugest haul of all time, but I think it was pretty good. I did an alright job. There's some pretty good stuff there. Lots of DVDs, but that's not a bad thing. I'm not a big DVD snob. And a lot of the stuff's not on Blu-ray because God hates us, I guess. I don't know why. And if it is, some of the stuff that is on Blu-ray is super hard to get, or it's super expensive. It'd just be nice if I could get, what's that movie called? What is it called? It's a Barton Fink. I don't want to pay $40 for Barton Fink. I like Barton Fink. It's a great movie. I don't want to pay $40 for it. So my DVD stays until I get a frickin' cheaper version of that. But anyways, that is that. That is my update video here. I'm very happy with all these. If you have anything to say about the special edition of Misery, Wind River, amazing movie, Bone Tomahawk, watch that, and definitely tell me your favorite part in Kickboxer. I have a hard time choosing, but mine is definitely the whole training segment. I always love that in movies, like Pai Mei from Kill Bill, to right off the top of my head. But it's pretty funny when he dances too, and when he gets him all drunk and he's dancing. Oh my God, was I laughing? Uh, that's always hilarious. Anyways, that is that, and yeah. Until the next video, I hope you enjoyed. If you liked this video, go ahead and like and subscribe and comment away. And I do these videos, I don't know, once a month, once couple times a month, usually once a month, and then some other little videos here and there sprinkled in the mix. That's the plan anyways for the sprinkling in the mix goes. So yeah, until the next video, as always, be easy. And yeah, take a good look at the movies I got here one last time. Yeah. Alright, later.